an incredible debate. Yeah, good. Okay. Taking place literally as we speak. And it looks like Bernie and Warren may have sort of sorted out the issue that they were having. Wow, wow. I mean, just everything about this debate, very, very interesting. I've been sent a very bizarre picture of the president also, which at some point I want to look at. Elizabeth Warren clearly has a plane to catch. She's heading right out. We see Mayor Pete, and I think that's Chasten, which I truly find to be one of the strangest names I've ever heard. And it seems religious, right? Is that something about the name Chasten seems to me more religious than I'm comfortable with, I must say. But what a night! What a night! I think Andrew Yang had a bad night. I think Tom Steyer had a disproportionately good night relative to his amount of support. And I am welcoming back folks on YouTube. I believe that we are back. I need to figure out exactly how to get things going again on YouTube. I hope people watched the debate and are aware of everything that went down. Let me see here if I can get us going. Yeah, okay, so let's see. YouTube, I think, let me take a look here. I just want to make sure everything's working correctly as we go back on YouTube. Whoa, that was weird. That was very, very odd there. All right, let's see. So I think that let's take some things off the screen if we can. This one and this one. Okay, very good. And then I think that we're going to be able to sort of get back to like our normal streaming setup, and then we'll talk about maybe taking phone calls and all of that stuff. Let's see here. We'll get our super chats back on the screen, and then I think we're going to be in pretty good shape, guys. I have a strong feeling that we're going to be momentarily here. We've got that. And then this, okay, we've got super chats back on the screen, although there aren't actually any right now. Okay, very good. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you watched the entire debate. I am curious to hear from people what they thought. I also have just been sent something. I don't know if this is real. I genuinely have no clue whether what I'm about to show you is real. But I'm told that this is an undoctored picture of Donald Trump today, arriving back at the White House. Could somebody tell me whether this could conceivably be real or whether this is not real? Trump returns to White House photos. Is this like a parody account for copyright William Moon? This seems to be a real picture, and I've never seen anything like this. Wow. It's just bizarre. This has to be fake, right? Does anybody know? I mean, it's genius. The comments don't seem to be referring to this being fake. Oh my goodness. That is just absolutely bizarre, folks. It is absolutely bizarre. All right. So the debate is over. Again, I do believe that Tom Steyer had an okay night. Yang at one point seemed to glitch where he said American president and he was like, sorry, no, of course I mean American. And then he just kind of like stopped short, which was weird. At one point they cut to him and he appeared to be eating, which someone else tells me he was just right in the middle of a sip of water. I don't think it was great. I think, Amy Klobuchar did okay. I don't think there's going to be any change. I think Joe Biden did okay. He tried to bring a little more energy. I don't expect any big changes. I think Bernie was consistent and he answered the questions correctly. There was a big pylon as far as Bernie goes. Mayor Pete got a lot of time, a lot of platitudes, and not, as much substance as maybe some of us might want. I don't know that this moves the needle very much. I think what moves the needle is the publicity around Mayor Pete, quote, winning in Iowa, the subsequent media coverage of that. Remember, Mayor Pete claimed victory when no votes had been counted. He just said, we're going into New Hampshire victorious. And that has led to a rise in Mayor Pete's New Hampshire polling. I think that more than anything else is really the biggest factor here. Let's see super chats that are coming in. We are still looking for 50 new members today. We're only at 15, it's a kind of a bummer. We do have a coupon code 36 today. You save 60%. I talk about how great of a person you are. And the blue bar fills in when people sign up with joinpacman.com, coupon code 36 today. Let's take a look here at the super chats that are coming in. Benjamin Ezel says, thank you so much for your content. Love the show. Thank you. Appreciate that. Andrew Dwyer says, I feel like Bernie was too soft on Pete and Joe. What do you think? I hope you disagree. I don't think Bernie is not uber confrontational, but every time Bernie was talking about, I'm not, letting suck up billionaires, whatever, run my campaign stuff, he's talking about Mayor Pete, right? That's who that's who the billionaires are giving a bunch of money to Pete. And that's exactly who Bernie is talking about. I just think it's unrealistic to expect him to be more confrontational than he, than his personality would dictate. Jack Dixon says, can you explain your studio setup? No, not right now. No. I don't know what, I mean, it's a studio. We've got all sorts of equipment, but I think we've got, email me if you have a specific question. Newa Matt says, Donald Trump is Harvey Two-Face. Justin Gurley, who is a regular, and I really appreciate his support, says, open the phone lines, please. I know whenever you do open, you get so much more support. We all have a lot to say about the night. By the way, Tom was lit with Bernie on topic. Well, I'd consider opening the phone lines, but we've got to get a little closer to our membership goal. It's a little bit, if I say we need 50 and then I just open them at 15, I am no longer credible. It's like with Trump, where if you sign a deal with the U.S., and then Trump's like, I don't like the deal, I'm canceling it, even though Iran didn't do anything wrong, then people take advantage of Donald Trump and the U.S. Let's see here. Assassin Kane says, for me, Bernie up, Pete down, Amy down, Biden down, Steyer up, Warren down, Yang out, Bernie winning. I also think that the end could be near for Andrew Yang. And I guess it was just bad timing when he looked like he was eating when the camera cut to him. And I guess he was just drinking water and it was just awkward. But I think that time is short for Andrew Yang's campaign. Ricky Williams says Bernie should add to his argument that we subsidize the lower cost for other countries. They negotiate lower for their citizens, and drug companies know they can charge whatever here to recoup profits. I would like to see more focus on that in general. Nerd Pants has subscribed at the Soy Boy level on YouTube. Dan Alfs has subscribed at the Soy Boy level on YouTube as well. I also want to thank over on Twitch, Numidian Nomad, for the Twitch Prime subscription 5 months in a row. I want to say thanks to Wheel Poi for the subscription. Jimmy Big Nuts has subscribed. Psycho Coaster, also a Twitch Prime subscriber. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I believe, let's take a look real quick again at the New Hampshire polling. This is California. Looking at the New Hampshire polling, of course, the purple line over here is Pete Buttigieg, Bernie Sanders also continuing to climb, but Pete Buttigieg closing the gap to some degree. Joe Biden falling in New Hampshire, Elizabeth Warren falling in New Hampshire, and Michael Bloomberg nowhere. Remember, Michael Bloomberg may indeed end up in upcoming debates, including the next one, but not in this one, and essentially ignoring New Hampshire completely. Dead Bear, no, hold on. Justin Gurley says, LOL, come on, man, 15 is great, but you ignore the Prime users that hit the goal of 1,000 before the end of the debate. That deserves an open phone line. Oh boy, people are really getting on me here. Dead Bear says, this is a little off topic, but will you be doing a segment about Joe Walsh dropping out of the race and telling Republicans to vote Democrat? Probably on Monday. Yeah, probably on Monday. Benjamin Ezel says, I actually love that Bloomberg is polling well because it splits the establishment vote. They don't know who to rally around, and that's great for Bernie. There's another approach. The other interpretation is what it does is help to deny Bernie the nomination. In other words, it's an asymmetrical situation. If a bunch of people can pick up enough delegates in total, even if Bernie has a plurality, if they can deny him the number he needs to secure the nomination, they win by forcing a second ballot vote with superdelegates. So there's two interpretations of that. You got to be careful with that. Let's see, who else? We've got William Gilbert subscribing at the beta level. Richard K., please cover more of the State of the Union on the show. What did you think of the phony scholarship USA Today says funded directly by Nancy DeVos? I think it's Betsy DeVos. And DeVos is spelled a little bit differently, but I didn't hear that. We're probably done with SOTU coverage for now. Heads or Heads says, seemed like they refused to declare a winner in Iowa. Yes. Idiot Box, Bernie's promise to bust up big corporations has ABC's owners and Disney out to get him. That may be a factor. Justin Gurley sends a super chat. And Matt says, thoughts on Biden's standing ovation for Vindman. I thought it was weird. I thought it was, quite frankly, very, very weird. Let me say thank you to Rob and A.D. Tomlinson. Now, I wonder if that's my friend's parents. Interesting. Ian DeRocher has subscribed at joinpacman.com. And Adam Chambers has subscribed, getting us new members number 16, 17, and 18. I also want to say thanks to Pink and Blonde for subscribing for 5 months with Twitch Prime. ACO510 asks, whatever happened to Tulsi? She failed, basically. She is out. I mean, I think she's still running. Is Tulsi still running for president? Honestly, I'm honestly asking that. I guess she must be, right? Because she was in the list of people in the Iowa results, but she got 0, I think. People don't know. Tulsi was in the audience. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. She's still running, but should drop out. Yeah. Again, we were taking a look at this picture earlier, which was sent to me. Is this real? Is this a real picture? In fact, I think I'm going to tweet about it real quick with a comment. Is this a photoshopped picture? Is this real? It is shocking. What a bizarre picture. I have never, ever seen anything like that. John McLean says, when Biden side-hugged Bernie and people defended him, it confirmed everyone thinks Hillary Clinton is unbearable. He came off as a total phony. Yeah, a lot of people in my chat feeling that way. Benjamin Ezel has subscribed at the beta level. Toby Bonnets says, let's tax on healthy consumables and subsidize healthy ones to fund healthcare as a compromise with conservatives. Dems will stonewall single payer. Justin Gurley says, it's hard to gift for members for your show. It's very easy to get members on Twitch as shown, but super chats make bank. LOL, I get it. All right, listen, you know what? Justin Gurley, you're driving me up a wall, my friend. I'm going to just take a few phone calls merely to reduce the attack, the brutal attacks from Justin Gurley. So people have Justin Gurley to thank. Let's open the phone lines a little bit, and I'm going to take it on faith that people are going to keep signing up or something. All right, let me get connected. The number is 617-830-4750. You have Justin Gurley to thank for the phone calls. I'm going to get myself connected, and I do want to hear from a few people, see what people thought about the debate. So once again, the number is 617-830-4750. Let's get connected here.
Thank you for calling into the David Pakman Show. Please do not use speakerphone. Have your question ready and listen for David to call out your area code.
Okay. And let's see, I am on. All right, let's go directly to Kowalski, who is, I guess, known on the Majority Report. Kowalski, Nebraska Republican. What's up?
Whoa, it's me?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my bad. I just wanted to call in and say I think Bloomberg in the next debate is actually a really good idea because they need to call him out on the stage to support whoever the nominee is going to be. They need it on the record, clear as day.
I thought Bloomberg was on the record. I thought Bloomberg recently said he would not only support the eventual nominee, but pour money in for them.
I would be, it just needs to be on the debate. Like that needs to keep getting homed in that he's buying his way in. I actually think him being on the debate stage is going to hurt him, which will be a great thing.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I think it could go either way.
Call in with and see if you also maybe wanted some more corn subsidized money. So.
Sorry, what was that, Kowalski? I missed that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I live in rural America, so, our reception is terrible. I
Is
was
that a
curious
fact?
if you enjoyed the subsidized corn money.
Of course. All super chats are much appreciated. And are you the Kowalski that calls into Sam's show? Is that accurate?
All the time.
Got it. All right, very
So,
good. Anything
you
else
have a
on
good
the
evening.
agenda today?
Thanks for
Okay.
the content.
I'm sorry, we're talking over each other there. Must be that phone lines.
Yes, it is.
All right, Kowalski, thank you for the call. I look forward to hearing from you again.
I will harass you in the future. You have a good evening.
All right, you too. Nebraska Republican, corn-funded Kowalski. Let's go next to our caller from the 412 area code, potentially calling in from the Pittsburgh area. 412, you're on.
Is it me?
Yes, it is.
So I think what I got out of the debate, I know earlier you were saying through like the general audience that Pete had a good showing. I kind of disagree, and the reason why I think that is I think that race question that the moderator kept in, she didn't just let Pete give his platitude and then
Yeah, she called him
dump
out.
off. She hit him again. Yeah, she hit him twice. I think that will have a bigger impact than some people are saying. Like I saw a tweet earlier today that Joe Biden has 50-something% of black support, and I think Bernie has 25, and Pete's still polling at 0. And I think I jokingly tweeted that Pete's support with blacks just dropped to -5%. I just think that hit harder than a lot of people think.
We'll see. I'm curious. I mean, I don't know if it did because there's a lot of numbers involved, and Pete had a good Mr. So the question was that in Pete's, in South Bend, there is an even greater racial inequality in arrests for drug stuff of non-white people. And Pete came back and said the total number of arrests went down when I became mayor, which is, of course, not the topic at hand. I don't want to say people are stupid, but I just mean people often are paying attention casually to these things, and it may not have been super obvious that he wasn't answering. I don't know.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, obviously, Pete's one of the best on the debate stage of just giving a word salad out of, saying a lot of things without any substance. But
For sure.
yeah, I just feel like on that one, it really, for me, it was like, I was like, oh crap, they just got him good on that one. I don't know if that, I mean, obviously I'm a Bernie supporter. Obviously my view on this one's a little biased.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like that one really got him.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens in the polling. I'm curious myself.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Thank you. Great to hear from you. Let me say a quick thank you to Rob Tomlinson, as well as Jose De Jesus, who are new members number 19 and 20 at joinpacman.com. Ryan F. says via Super Chat, DNC caught in sabotage again. Pete still gets a bump. We will see. We will see. Let me go next to the 443 area code. Who's calling today from 443?
Hi, David. This is Trey, originally from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, a more rural area of Maryland. Now I live north of Pittsburgh.
Love it. What's going on?
Yeah, so I was watching the debate stream on Twitch, and, this is my first election that I'm going to be able to participate in. And the first candidate who got my attention and sort of got me paying attention to the process was Andrew Yang.
Okay.
However, I've definitely come around to really being ready for him to get out of the race, and it looks like this debate performance was, evidence that it's high time for that. He wasn't
What do you think
aggressive.
happened? Because
He barely knew what he was talking about.
He seemed confused. It wasn't clear if he couldn't hear the questions. Maybe he was getting tired because he was not. They weren't going to him very frequently. What do you even think happened?
Honestly, it's hard to tell. I don't know if maybe he and his campaign can see the writing on the wall, and from where he's not a practiced politician, maybe he's not as good at feigning the strength of his campaign, or maybe he was just having an off night for some random personal reason. I'm unsure, but
Right.
yeah, something definitely seemed off compared to relatively strong performances in a couple previous debates.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what else to make of it either.
Yep, but anywho, I'm glad that he brought, some interesting topics to the, general, political awareness, such as, I had never really been thinking of automation, and, it's really still jury out regarding whether, automation is actually the key reason why a lot of jobs are being lost, or if it's just a player. But, now people are talking about UBI, which could be a valuable part of a progressive platform, but not really in the way that he was trying to introduce it. So now I'm pretty much with Bernie.
Wow. All right. Very good. Well, I appreciate you letting me know your point of view.
No problem. You have a great day. Thanks.
All
for
right.
you
You too. Thank you so much. Via Super Chat, Rory Drew says, David, I've been watching your interview with Jesse Lee Peterson from a couple years back. You deserve a knighthood. I applaud your composure. I'm going to be back in LA soon. I was thinking of reaching out about doing another one. Xian says, Yang needed some of Trump's Sudafed uppers. Yeah, Yang was like low energy today. Very, very low energy. Let's go next to, we've got a lot of people holding. Just so people know, there's 25 people holding right now, just so you get a sense of how jam-packed things are. Let's go to the 754 area code. Who's calling from 754?
David.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Can't believe I actually got... Sorry, I was on speaker. Am I off speaker now?
You tell me, my friend.
Okay, I'm off speaker. I'm just wondering if you can hear me well.
All of a sudden I can hear you much better.
Okay, great.
Good.
So my name's David, too. I love your show.
Thank you.
Really, really love your show. And I'm actually not from, I guess 917 is Florida, but I've got a family plan. I'm with my sister. I'm actually in New Haven, Connecticut.
And I don't even know what 917 is, because you're coming in on a 754 area code, my friend.
No, I mean 754, 917 is New York.
Oh, all right. Very
It's
good.
my boss's.
Regardless, you've made it
Okay,
on
so
regardless
anyways,
of your phone number, which is a good start.
I'm psyched, and I hope you're not mad, because I've been wanting to get in touch with you and ask you this question, but it's not really about the debate tonight, but I really want to ask this question.
Well, I hope that it's a good
what you
question,
think.
because Destiny just rated my stream with almost 5,000 viewers. So if you ask a question that is embarrassing to my broadcast, there are 5,000 new people that are going to be absolutely furious with you.
Well, I hope it's not embarrassing to your
Okay.
broadcast.
Good.
If it's embarrassing, it's just going to be embarrassing to me. But this is what I wonder, because we know, I feel Republicans play extremely dirty when it comes to, voter suppression. And I think it's pathetic, the voter turnout that we have, even, irregardless of the. So I'm wondering.
Regardless
there's
or
a lot of people who just. I'm not even sure. No. I said irregardless.
It's actually the same. The two words mean the same thing. I actually interviewed someone from a dictionary. Both the words mean the same thing. Isn't that crazy?
Okay. How about irregardlessly, regardless?
I like it.
By
the
anyways,
way, this is a weird thing. So things are getting even crazier. I believe that Tom Steyer's Twitch account is now hosting us, and I actually think that my sarcastic, positive comment about him on Twitter, I think they're taking it seriously.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but I did like his performance. I admit, I really did like his performance. All right, let's hear your question. I apologize.
Okay, all right. I have to go back and catch the first half of the debate because I wasn't around. But so I always wonder why. We have a lot of good, very rich people, who billionaires even.
Yes.
Why don't they put together, like, pool their money and start? This is for the election. Like lottos or contests, private contests, where if you go and vote, that's your entry to the lottery. You know what I mean?
No,
to motivate
I have no
people
idea
to go out.
You vote and then you're entered in a lottery?
Yeah, like a state-run lottery. It's a contest, and the person who wins gets like $1 million, and they could, one guy, Mark Cuban, could do Texas or whatever. You know what I mean? And that would just get people to go out and.
So let me see. I just want to really make sure I'm understanding what you're. I'm almost positive what you're suggesting is illegal, but let's imagine it's not. You're saying.
That's what I want to ask you.
When you go and vote,
if it's illegal and why?
And by voting, you were entered into a lottery in which you can win $1 million.
Exactly.
And where does the money come from?
Just proving that you vote for private billionaires and millionaires and people who want to get Democrat vote out.
Okay,
for people who are disenfranchised or whatever.
I'm not a lawyer. I think it's almost certainly illegal.
I don't see. I know that it could be.
Yeah.
But I think it could be done where it's not illegal, like an online contest. People give away money all the time, and just because it's related to, I mean, I feel that they could get around it if they wanted to.
Maybe so. I don't think it's a strategy
or
for
at least
anything
there
in
would.
particular. I don't know that it's something you could say. So let's say it's not illegal. Well, I don't know what you do with that necessarily, but hello? Huh. Okay. All right. Welcome to everybody joining me from Destiny's stream. There's a super chat from YouTube that's a message to you guys. Numbered says, tell the Destiny fans in the chat to vote Bernie. Also, Machine XP, one thing we've been talking about is what happened to Andrew Yang tonight. Machine XP says, huge Yang fan, but honestly, it feels like he was overwhelmed with a lack of time to speak and terrible performance with Iowa votes. Also, Justin Gurley sends a message just saying 0.360. Oh, I guess Justin Gurley may be holding. Let's see. Is there a 360 call holding? 360. Is this Justin Gurley?
Hey, how you doing? This is Justin.
Hey, Justin, you've been busting my chops all night.
Well, yeah, I think that, you know, the best part of your show, viewers calling in.
All right. Well,
but
you're now on.
I want to talk about maybe, well.
Oh, no, your phone's going haywire. Can you imagine being the guy who gets me to open the phones and then we can't hear you because of your connection? How embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
All right, you're back on now.
Through some concrete. Is that okay?
Yes. Hello? Now he's just gone altogether. Wow, so we just lost him completely. Can you imagine? Let's go to Val from Agawam. We haven't heard from Val for a little bit. Hey, Val, what's going on?
Hi, David. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for doing the stream again.
Of course.
As always, it's much appreciated.
Thank you.
I kept my Jack Chi very quiet during the entire course of the debate.
Right. That's a Jack Russell Chihuahua crossbreed.
Hybrid, as you called it.
Yes, it's a hybrid. Thank you.
But anyway, I think Bernie did really well. I would like to see Bernie be stronger, though. I know it's not in his nature, and I don't know, maybe this is all part of the grand plan that he has, but I would like to see him defend himself. I've seen him go into savage mode quite a bit on some old YouTube clips.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's I understand what you're saying. I don't know that. So there were a couple other people via Super Chat who also said they wanted to see a much more aggressive Bernie. I think Bernie repeating a few times that he's not being funded by a bunch of billionaires, I feel like that is Bernie being aggressive. I don't know how much more aggressive he's going to get, really.
That's true. That's true. And I think him just stating it matter-of-factly might even be a better idea, actually.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
I think that hammering on that is a good idea. I don't know how much... If the problem is if a casual viewer doesn't realize when Bernie says, I don't have all these dozens of billionaires funding me, if you don't know that that's what Pete has, you might not even understand the attack.
That's true.
No.
That's a good point. And at this point, we really have to start spelling things out for people, I think, for people that are just tuning in that haven't seen other debates.
Absolutely. There are people only now getting involved now that the Iowa caucuses have happened. But in any case, we may see a totally different dynamic by the next debate. We might have Yang out and we might have Bloomberg in, and who knows what's happening with Steyer. So it could be a very different feel in the next debate.
This is true.
Yeah.
Now, quickly on another topic.
Please.
Are there Destiny people listening to this?
Yes, there are.
Because I really think we need to make, at the risk of sounding like that person that says they want to go bowling,
yeah,
Children of the Lie has to happen.
Yeah, I know.
It has to happen.
Everybody thinks it's a joke. For people who are coming here from the Destiny channel, Jesse Lee Peterson uses this phrase to describe leftists, children of the lie. So I had the idea that we should do a single song, like it would be a band under the name Children of the Lie. We put out one song. I play drums. Stephen Destiny Bennell II plays keys. Anthony Fantano plays bass, and Sam Cedar sings. And I am serious about it, and I told them all about it, and they were all kind of like, yeah, sure. But then when I followed up, Nobody responded, and I can't be the guy who keeps taking it seriously if they aren't, Val, because then I become beta. And
This
so
is true. We
I feel
can't.
like
You have to remain alpha. It's very
right.
important.
I need the
Very
audience
important.
to get them involved, and then we will do it. I think it would be an amazing thing to do.
So this is my pitch to seriously make that happen.
Yeah. Oh, that was you. We just heard your pitch. Very good.
That is the pitch. Yes, I would like that to happen.
All right, Val. We will research and try to make it a reality.
Okay. Take care, David.
All right, Val. Thank you so much. Great to hear from you. Let me thank a couple other people who signed up at joinpacman.com. Will Borger is member number 21, and then Stephen Werner is member number 22. And that's it. Okay, just those two people. Couple super chats. Richard K says, David, on the line about Betsy DeVos, area code 425. I don't know if we're doing everybody's super chats. They're actually, I don't even have a 425 up right now. Heads or Heads says, if I got a super chat my area code, I will do it. It's 816. Let me see if I see an 816 here. Okay, I do see 816. Let's try 816. 816, is this Heads or Heads?
Yeah, this is him.
How you doing?
I actually make good. I'm doing well actually. I actually make music, so if you want to get that train going, I will happily produce. But I became a member today after listening for a long time. My mom actually got me into you with the Jesse Lee Peterson interview.
Oh, that's delightful.
I'd love to see. Yeah, I would love to see another sequel to that. But I think something that kind of got overlooked by Bernie as a solid attack, or not an attack, a solid point that he should make, is that he won an overwhelming amount of non-white voters in Iowa, and in fact got more than double the support that Joe Biden got. So I thought that was a missed opportunity for sure. And also, he got 43% of the vote of people under the age of 45, which is just an enormous amount that I think those numbers really can kind of translate into some serious, solid, look, I have the support, I got it in actual votes. So all along we've been talking about, well, let's wait till people vote. And now we have one state and we can look at those results. And it seems like nobody talked about any. I mean, I understand not talking about Iowa because it's such a mess, but at least if you're going to make a case for why you're the most electable person, you might as well use the numbers that you have at your disposal.
Well,
right?
and Bernie did at one point say that he won Iowa by 6,000 votes or something, ignoring the delegate question. And I thought that was relatively clever.
Right. And kind of what I've been seeing is that this might be a positive for Bernie in, a net positive in the sense that for everyone who's kind of been keeping not a close eye necessarily on the race, they see the amount of, the hiccup that has happened and, the cluster that has happened with Iowa. And they see, it's now coming down to a tiny sliver putting who Pete, like everyone's like, who is this? And I think that people are starting to, even if it's, not true, they're trying to see it as the Democrats are again rigging against Bernie, which whether or not that will help him to be seen. But I wanted to get your thoughts on what happens if Pete wins New Hampshire and Bernie gets second.
In terms of the upcoming, I mean, if Pete wins New Hampshire, I believe the establishment likely unites behind Pete, and that they kind of abandon Biden, and Biden already in the results is not doing well. If Bernie wins New Hampshire, but Pete is second, you maybe still see the same thing. And if Biden is second in New Hampshire or wins, I think the establishment probably stays behind Biden for some further period of time.
Sure. And at what point do you think, Warren supporters decide, well, there's no path, viable path for Warren to get the nomination?
Well, I think half of them already decided that. She's lost about half of her support in the last few months. But I think very soon. I mean, unless she gets something happening in the next couple states, Warren's done.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess it's just interesting to see what'll happen. And do you think that anyone will declare a winner before New Hampshire votes in Iowa?
I think we will know who won Iowa before New Hampshire votes. Yes. All right. You've gotten a number of questions in, so I'm going to let you go. We typically limit it to just one. Kowalski from Nebraska says, don't tell Sam, but here, have some cattle cash. Thank you. Justin Gurley says, thanks for opening the line. Sorry about my reception. Sometimes it works, sometimes it drops. It dropped with my luck, but the Magic 8 Ball says, try again. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to our caller from the 480 area code. I believe 480, is that the Tucson, Arizona area?
Yeah, hi David. This is Spencer from Tucson.
Hey, how's it going? Love Tucson.
Yeah, good place. I'm pretty good. I'm just wondering. So I was expecting tonight with the whole debacle in Iowa that the ABC hosts would bring that up. I'm just wondering what your take is on why we didn't see that.
I think that there was an agreement not to. I think that I would be shocked if the DNC didn't express that they would rather it not be brought up. There was no mention of it other than Bernie saying he got the most votes, which is accurate. So I believe that it was a joint decision and that the DNC said, listen, things there are crazy. It's not going to be good for anybody for it to come up. It's not going to be productive, and we don't want you bringing it up. And ABC probably agreed.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I figured maybe like the questions were pre-written because otherwise it seems like maybe it would be something that might be good for ratings, but I could see why they might want to just avoid it altogether.
Yeah. I think that it was the DNC did not want it brought up, and clearly they must have made their point known.
Got it. Okay, great. Thanks, David.
All right, very good. Great to hear from you. Xian says via Super Chat, who's a bigger threat to Bernie now, Pete or Biden? Well, I think mathematically now it's Pete. Pete is rapidly surging and in early states may do better than Biden in at least up until South Carolina, but we'll see. Let's go to Sam from the 202. Sam's calls have been interesting historically based on the notes I have in front of me. What's going on, Sam?
Hi, David. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I have a question. So Andrew Yang and Klobuchar are my two favorites but Andrew Yang said something interesting.
Did he?
That the whole capitalism versus socialism thing is like kind of outdated. And I have two things on that. One, all the countries that Sanders wants us to be like, they are capitalists, but they have a huge safety net. And a lot of people miss that they're still technically capitalists. And we all know that state socialism, like the Soviet Union collapsed, and China had to become way more capitalist.
Yes,
the
Scandinavian countries, Northern Europe, those are capitalist countries. You're completely right, Sam.
Yeah, and a lot of people like capitalism versus socialism. They're missing the whole point. B, I think you can have a good society in capitalism or in socialism because in the United States in the 1950s and 60s we were doing great, and we had an even smaller government. But the difference being the billionaires in today's money had far less influence in our government, and in fact we had the Republican president Eisenhower talking about the military-industrial complex buying our government. And like the corruption we have today is unheard of. And we were capitalists back then, and we had an even smaller government than now. And they have similar results to what we had back then in terms of prosperity and whatnot in Sweden and whatnot. So my point is, you can have an equal amount of prosperity in a ton of different systems. So that's why I think it's out of date.
All right, Sam, very good. Always eloquent and always right to the point. I appreciate the phone call. The points are well made. Eduardo Castillo, or as we would say in Argentina, Castillo, says, what do you think of Pete's concept that you don't bring a knife to a gunfight? Until campaign finance reform has been overhauled, the Dems need to fight fire with fire. That seems reasonable, money versus money. I've always agreed. I mean, when I report to you, oh, Bernie raised a record 25 million or whatever, I don't like the system, but given that it's the system we have, someone on our side needs to raise money and get in office, right? I mean, otherwise it's not going to work. Let's go to our caller from the 732 area code. Who's calling today from 732?
Hi, this is Connor from Feeding Hills, Massachusetts.
Oh, Feeding Hills. You're near Val from Agawam.
Yes, I am.
Very cool.
Yes. And I do not appreciate you insulting her Jack Chi. That was very discriminatory of you.
Against who?
Val's Jack Chi.
It was discriminatory against that one dog.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. Against whom? I'm sorry.
So So I called in because I wanted to ask you this question, which was during the impeachment trial.
Yes.
I had this. I've seen a few articles go over this. That fundamentalist, or not fundamentalist, I guess a fundamentalist, an originalist interpretation that like the conservatives obsess over with their judges.
Yes.
Of the impeachment clauses of the Constitution would note that it notes that the Chief Justice is the presiding officer, and says that, but it never says the Senate can make rules that are overriding him. So why didn't Roberts, like with that logic, interfere more in it? Do you think he just didn't want to get caught up with some sort of weird constitutional crisis type deal?
Oh, of course. Chief Justice John Roberts, in his role in the impeachment trial, had no interest in doing anything other than getting it over with as quickly as possible. He wanted to stay as still as possible, blend into the background, and have people forget that he's there. And there was never the chance that he was actually going to get involved, and his role was merely procedural. And I mean, he refused to read 2 of Rand Paul's questions, and other than that, I can't think of anything he actually asserted.
Yeah, and then I noticed at the end, what did the Republicans do? They gave him like a golden gavel or something. It's like, did we just witness like bribery right
pathetic.
at the end? Like they have it right in front of our faces.
It was embarrassing. They gave him basically a participation trophy for sitting there during the impeachment sham trial. I mean, it was inconceivable that 10 years ago it would have been inconceivable that was going to happen last week, and yet it did, and here we are.
Yeah, it makes me think how different that would have gone down if it was a Democratic Chief Justice.
Well, remember, the Chief Justices are not strictly speaking partisan, but of course, Chief Justice John Roberts appointed by a Republican. All right, great to hear from Feeding Hills, the little brother of Agawam, Massachusetts, of course. That is going to do it for me today. I appreciate everybody joining me. Sorry I wasn't able to take more phone calls, but it's been a long stream, and we will have